Today, when I was just about to wrap up today's recording session, I had something else planned for you today. Wargaming released this article 41 minutes ago. Status update, fixes to preferential matchmaking. So we all remember, I believe, whoever watches my channel remembers what Wargaming was thinking about doing to the preferential matchmaking vehicles and what kind of shitstorm it released. Once again, mini drama, so-called mini drama in World of Tanks. But now seems like they actually listened to the community and they decided to go back to the drawing board to redo this entire fixes to the preferential matchmaking, because originally everything was because of preferential matchmaking, all the matchmaking flaws, and you know, I have covered that topic many times already. So at first, quickly, let's take a look at the article, and after that, let's take a look at every single vehicle one by one that they're thinking about rebalancing. So, this past May saw us test changes to the KV-5. Had they proven agreeable, they would have been applied to other preferential tanks. So KV-5 was kind of a pioneer. They buffed its DPM, they buffed its gun handling, penetration a lot, and so on. However, the result didn't align with the intended outcome, and the majority of the player feedback we received proved to be negative. Oh yes, it was negative. As the feedback and testing showed, the reason you take these tanks into the battle or bring them into your garage or buy them in the first place is their preferential status and unique characteristics. Thank God you finally understood it. People actually bought those preferential tanks because they didn't want to face tier 10 vehicles with tier 8 tanks, for example, or they didn't want to see +2 matchmaking. They only wanted to see -2 matchmaking, +1, -2 matchmaking. Finally, you understood. In response to your comments, we went back to the drawing board to work on another round of adjustments. So all this breaks down to the basics. Problem: tanks with preferential status are likely to get matched into 2 or 1 tier battles, where tier status combined with combat parameters does more harm than good, because they were quite weak compared to the nowadays tier 8 tanks, compared to the tier 8 preferential tanks, of course. In certain battles, they can't compete tier 9 and feel inferior against the regular tier 8 vehicles. Exactly my point. So goal: improved the experience for preferential tanks while keeping the preferential matchmaking parameter and their unique characteristics intact. Perfect. This is what a lot of players wanted to see. So now let's take a look at what Wargaming is thinking about doing to those tier 8 preferential premium tanks, including Type 59 is nice shiny thing over there in the middle. But KV-5 increased the penetration values from 168 to 182. Yes, KV-5 still had 168mm of penetration. Improve frontal armoring of the commander's cupola plus 40mm from 150 to 190. I guess this is that frontal R2D2. Improved armoring of the radio operator's cupola by 20mm. Or is that this R2D2, that mini turret in the front? And on the top of that, improved the aiming time from 2.9 seconds to 2.3 seconds. So KV-5 already has really good TPM now, more penetration, a lot more penetration, and a better aiming time as well. So, what do you think about that? Let's move on. IS-6, my old #1 favorite premium tank in this game. IS-6 as well as KV-5, 112, WZ-111, they were all suffering from that low standard penetration, especially versus tier 9s and tier 8 heavy tanks. But now, increase penetration from 175 to 182 with standard rounds, and with premium rounds from 217 to 225, at least something. But improve aiming time from 3.4 seconds to 2.8 seconds. I love that. I really do like to see that. Improve the frontal turret armoring up to 190mm on the sides of the gun mantle. Alright, so turret is also going to be a bit stronger. Moving up, FCM50T, so it is like super lightly armored heavy tank. Improve the specific power from 19.5 to 23 horsepower per ton. Jesus Christ. Is this the fastest heavy tank now? 23 horsepower per ton power to weight ratio, not bad. Increased damage per minute by 10% from 1900 to 2100. FCM50T. Now, if I remember correctly, it already had 212 millimeters of penetration with the regular rounds. So, of course, it doesn't need any more penetration, but it keeps its mobility and it is going to be boosted even more. Nice. So 112, I guess, same penetration changes, yes, from 175 to 182. Shell velocity with heat also improved. From 640 to 720 and increased damage per minute from 1775 to 11850. So better DPM, a bit better penetration and a bit better shell velocity with premium heat. The premium heat already had more penetration than IS-6 with with premium APCR. WZ-112 penetration upgrade as expected, 175 to 182, and same goes to the WZ-111. No DPM buffs over here. Was WZ's DPM already better? Did they buff this DPM on the same level with 111? I'm not sure, I have to look it up. Next up, M6A2E1 aka M6 Mutant, penetration upgrade from 198 to 204. Review the vehicle armoring, make minor improvements to overall armoring. Alright, so frontal armoring was quite decent already, but sides were super weak. Improve hull traverse speed from 24 to 28 degrees per second and decrease dispersion on turret traverse from 0.18 to 0.16. So a bit better gun handling, more penetration, better all-around armoring and better mobility. Slightly better mobility. So D34-3, yes, another vehicle that received a penetration upgrade, 175 to 182. Is that enough? My question is, guys, is that enough? Or should it be 190? Like on all those vehicles? I would say if you increase the penetration to 190, it is still going to do the same thing, or even maybe 195. Why? Because you do not struggle penetrating tier 7s, tier 6 vehicles with 175 either. But the problem comes in when you face tier 8s and tier 9s. Regular tier 8s and tier 9s. So is that 182 still enough? I would say if you buff it up to 190, 195, it is not going to make any difference versus lower tiers. This tank is already really good versus lower tiers. It just helps you fight versus the same tier heavies and higher tier heavies. This is just my opinion and my logic. But moving on, improve the gun depression angle from -5 degrees to 6.5 degrees. Really welcoming buff on D34-3, so I think they did the same to the Type 59, we'll see. And heat velocity from 640 to 720 and Type 59, nice. Okay, we have 4 buffs over here. Improved specific power ratio from 14 to 15.5, better aiming time from 2.3 seconds to 2.1 seconds, increased damage per minute by 50 points, okay, at least something. And finally, review the vehicle armoring. Okay, maybe, possibly, as you can see, maybe they are going to buff some armoring on Type 59 as well. If I remember correctly, it already received a little penetration buff, like few batches ago. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it is okay penetration wise. So Type 59, better mobility, better gun handling, and 50 points better TPM. Alright. Super Pershing increased the penetration from 192 to 202. Now this is the thing, why those guys, yes, I understand that over 200 maybe might be a bit good because they have better alpha damage, I understand that, but just up to 190 even, maybe on those IS-6, 112 and KB5 maybe would be good enough. But Super Pershing 202 penetration, DPM buffed by 50 points and better power to weight ratio as well. Oh, finally Super Pershing receives better power to weight ratio from 9.9 to 12 horsepower per ton, not bad. And Jagd Tiger 8.8. Increased the penetration from 203 to 212, finally, because this is a tank destroyer that usually bounced many shells, 100 extra hit points, reverse speed buffed by 2 kilometers per hour, and improved aiming time from 2 seconds to 1.8 seconds. So gun handling better, Mobility slightly better, survivability better, and firepower slightly better as well. All welcoming changes on Jagdtiger. So guys, what do you think? Is this a bit better direction where wargaming is heading at with all those fixes to the preferential matchmaking now? Let me know in the comments down below. I would say it is a lot better direction than the previous one, because they simply wanted to take away that one special feature why people bought those preferential tanks in the first place. And this is no go in our book. Let me know in the comments down below, and stay tuned for my future episodes. Episode tomorrow and the day after that. I have a lot of exciting stuff to share with you. New premium tanks, new tanks overall, exciting vehicles, exciting episodes. To do that, to stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button to be notified when I upload another episode, and let the discussion go or flow in the comment section. Much love, stay awesome, take care, and bye.